And she kept saying congratulations. I know it's so stupid, but I thought I had the job already.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We are on another episode of Another Day in Paradise, and I am with my friend Reda. So,
Hey,
Reda,
hey.
how you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
It was a festive period these last couple of days.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
lot of food.
A lot of food, and we are. You know what's interesting during Ramadan? People eat in a different time for sure. Not necessarily less, contrary to popular belief. And work productivity slows down.
Yeah, everything goes down.
Which is a great segue because today we're gonna talk about job
I
interviews.
like what you did there.
I know. See that? So job interviews. So we were having this conversation a few minutes before, and you told me that. So how many major interviews for like serious jobs did you have in your lifetime?
Like really serious, I would say.
Like
maybe
a career job?
Real career job? Actually, none.
None.
Yeah.
No, like a serious job where you really wanted the job.
In the serious job, I would say two.
2 or 3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
two or three.
Yeah, I think I had a couple, and I thought it would be interesting to share our opinions on that, and also some anecdotes. So, do you want to start with your anecdote, the first one that really strikes you as interesting?
Well, what's interesting when you go into an interview is actually, for me, I think it was for a media company. I don't know if they did television or radio or something like that. Or actually, it was some kind of like a Netflix kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah. And what struck me right away was that I wasn't ready for that.
so how old were you? Like right out of college, fresh out of college?
Yeah, I was still in college actually.
Okay.
Maybe 22
Okay.
or something like that. But it was way too early for me to I didn't take it from the right angle.
Okay.
So I was like, it was almost like an exam. Went in there, stressed out.
Stressed out, sweating out, etc.
They
Like, oh
asked
my
me
God.
questions, and I was like,
Yes, sir. Okay,
what's
so
your name? My name. I know it. I know it.
Yeah.
And question after question, it really felt like a test. And like years later, if you think about it now, you're like, a job interview is literally a conversation. This is what I have to offer. What do you have to offer? Okay, and kind of find a middle ground and go from there.
Yeah. I do actually try to coach a few people on how to take interviews, etc. And I'm not an expert, but I just give them my opinion. I took some classes on it back in college, and this is a subject that really interests me, and I give my perspective on things. And my perspective is always a little bit strange. I always tell the people who are trying to get into a job interview or get into a job is you are interviewing them and they are interviewing you. Like you need to like the job too. Like you have something to offer.
It's a two-way street.
They are not just saving you from the streets. Like you have degrees, you have potential, you have productivity that you can bring to the table. So don't forget that it's a negotiation table. It's not just like, oh, I hope they take me. Well, I hope they should say the same thing. I hope he likes
chooses me.
us.
Yeah, and when you go, if you look at like big law firms that go after like very high profiles from Ivy League schools and stuff, it actually the dynamic kind of switches.
Exactly.
We need to get that guy.
This
is what we can offer. This is what we can do, and
they negotiate hard, like hard,
definitely.
like people that like the candidates, like they negotiate hard for a lot of things, and people are like, oh, I don't know, well, I don't want to push too much. I'm afraid they're gonna say no. Trust me. If they have you there for a high-profile job, of course, not working at McDonald's, you just need to be able to breathe, pretty much.
It's harder than it seems, bro.
But I'm sure it is. But the repetitiveness is probably like like breaks your back and breaks your mind and your spirit.
Yeah, it's
but
basically
but
patience.
but it's not brain surgery. I'm not saying that law firm is a brain surgery too. I mean, if people can do it,
No, I
everybody.
get your point. I get your
But
point.
but that's what I tell people, like negotiate, like work hard on negotiation. Don't be like, well, I hope they take me. Well, think about it for a second. If you are taken, you will be doing this for a long time, every day, 5 days a week. So you better like what you will be doing, what you're signing up for. It's it's a commitment from both sides.
Yeah, it needs to align with your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like if you're, I don't know, like a single mom,
Exactly.
negotiate time to, like be able
Family
to
time, take care of
have
family,
family
etc.
time
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Salary. I remember my first interviews. It was like, what are your like, what do you expect money wise and
Yeah.
stuff? And I was like, how much can I say?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever is normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I would do it for free, basically. But
Yeah.
because you want that job so bad and stuff. But actually, now that I think about it, I was more on the other side of the interview.
Okay.
When I was hiring like
IT guys.
yeah,
IT guy?
IT guys, designers, stuff like that. And what's funny is that a lot of people that go into an interview give so much importance to the like the scholar background documentation and
Yeah.
stuff, like if they were applying for some kind of visa,
Yeah, exactly.
and
They have all the
you
paperwork
just want to
ready.
have like a conversation with a person.
Exactly.
And very often they put themselves, because of the stress and all of that, they put themselves in a position of really like you feel like you're applying for some kind of like administration paper where
Yeah.
like I have all my paperwork and and I'm very serious and but are
That's
you
true.
a cool dude to be
That's true.
around? You know,
Exactly,
like, and
exactly.
can I count on you? That's
Yeah,
the most important.
yeah.
And if you look at like Silicon Valley, big corporations, Google, Facebook, and stuff, they kind of switched the way they do interviews. They don't
true.
really care about
Your
what
degree.
you did, because most of the jobs you learn them on the spot. It's
Exactly.
not like you kind of get in
Some basics.
some basics and stuff like that, but you really learn the job while
Exactly.
doing the job
On the spot.
And so what's more important is, are you can you think outside of the box? Can you solve things and stuff? So there's a lot of logic tests, riddles, stuff like that. And that's very interesting.
I think this is definitely true. I mean, one of the qualities that I always try to advise people to put forward, and that I used to put forward, was like, show them that don't be cocky, but be confident, which is a thin line between them. And also show that you are willing to learn, because that's what they want. You will not be able to work from day one and be productive from day one. You need the ability to learn. So this is the basic skill that everybody is looking for. If you do like languages are created like, almost weekly basis or monthly basis. So you need to be up to date. So your ability to be flexible and to learn is the basic skill that you need. Of course, and some people, they learn their resume by heart and they try to recite their resume. He doesn't need your resume. He has it in front of him. So he needs to know who you are besides your resume. So be a cool guy, be friendly, be smiling, and share a conversation, like have a conversation. And I think that's what, first big job out of college for me was Apple.
Oh, that's a nice first job.
I almost want to say like only big job, but beside my poop job, but that's another issue for another day maybe. So I was, I applied a long time before, and then they called me, and what's funny? I will try to go quickly because this anecdote is actually pretty interesting.
All right.
First, I received an email, and they said, "Dear Mr. Beep," and there was a blank.
Yeah.
We are very happy to announce to you that you are selected. You have been selected to beep, and then beep on beep on Tuesday beep, and I was like, so I was like, it's a scam. So somebody
so they didn't fill out your form?
No, they didn't. It's just like a template. They sent me the template.
Oh, they didn't fill it out for you.
They didn't fill it out.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
you're
like,
like-
oh, wait a second. So I thought, well, it's a joke. Somebody is
Yeah.
scamming, and the scam is not even that good. The address was at Apple, that's whatever. So I was like, yeah, it's pretty good scam, but I'm guessing it's not exactly the right address. Maybe Apple is using
But you
something.
applied for that before.
Yes, I did, but it was so long ago, like
Yeah,
6 months ago, that I almost forgot about it.
Okay.
Anyways, so then I forgot what I did. I think I answered, and I said, I think you sent the wrong document. If you send me the right one, I will be more than happy to come to an interview, etc. And she sent me another one, and she said, "Oh, I'm very, very happy that you sent me the email. I'm very sorry. I was jammed with work and I forgot, and I sent you the template. But yes, it's not a scam. You are selected, etc., etc. Congratulations."
But
And she
just
kept
a
saying,
quick
yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Knowing how those Silicon Valley companies like to
Operate.
play mind games, do you think it was maybe like a test?
Oh no, I didn't think about it that way, but maybe it was. Maybe it was.
You know,
Anyways,
like, does he really want the job?
yeah, but
Is he gonna solve this small problem?
yeah,
by
like
saying,
a riddle.
guys-
Oh, maybe. Anyways,
Yeah, it's
so
funny.
she kept saying congratulations. So I said, oh, cool. So again, I was young. I was maybe 21 or 22. No, maybe a little more, 24. And she said,
38.
she kept saying congratulations. I know it's so stupid, but I thought I had the job already. Like, all right, where do I start?
Why congratulations?
Hey, can I meet Steve Jobs the first day, or should I wait?
Yeah.
And then, so I go there, and I thought it was like the training. Why? Because I saw so many people,
Yeah.
like not just one or two, like groups. So this is the first round where they just select, like, you know, like a bunch of people. They tell them, okay, you can go home. We will keep those people.
How many people were there?
Maybe we were like 3 groups of 20 or 30 people. So like,
okay, so between 60 and 100.
yeah, it was like a lot of groups, and I couldn't see everybody, but it was like small groups. And you said, okay, and there was some manager with the list. Okay, you, Jawad, this, John, Chris, etc., etc., Abdullah, etc. Please come here. There was no Abdullah, just me.
All right.
So, and they were. I then moved. They moved us to like a big room. It was in a mall, okay, because the Apple Store was in a mall.
Okay.
So they moved us to a huge room, and it's like a conference room. And I was, while I was walking there, I was like, "So these are my colleagues. So I better get to know. Hey, how you doing? So how long have you been applying for? Oh well," and I'm like, "These are my colleagues." And I go there, and then there is a test. I'm like, oh, it's game
so
time.
Now you understand that you're actually in a competition.
I'm in a competition. So
Yeah.
the stress level went, whoop. Okay. So, and there was like a list of like 100 words, and like words around Apple products, like Apple, Mighty Mouse, whatever, this, that, iTunes, etc., etc. And the list was very long, and they said, okay, you will work in a group or maybe alone anyways. And we had to select one word and then talk about it for a few minutes just to see if we can, like, if we are articulated or not. Anyway, so I said, okay, I will say, and the big themes, the big words were like in the first of like the top of the list, and the list had like many rows. So I started reading from the bottom of the, like the final items, like the last items.
Yeah.
The reason for that is that I would have too much competition with the first ones, and
Yeah.
they are better than me because they are English speakers, they etc. etc.
Yeah.
So I started from the bottom, no competition. I
you're
was
here.
the only one, exactly. So, boom, I select that one, and they started like so many people talked about iPhone, and then I selected one that nobody talked about. It was, I think, CPU.
Okay.
And
That nobody knows about.
well, not everybody knows about it. So I said, well, this is my time. And I said, oh, CPU, central processor unit, etc. It's actually the brain of this. Of that. Oh, great. And then she said, why did you start with this one? I said, well, I explained my thing. And she said, great. And the manager came and she said, fantastic, good job, Jawad. And I'm like, all right, great. Then we leave. they send us another email. We go for the second round. Anyways, long story short, we go second round, and the person who told me, "Oh, good job," she's the one who actually sent me the email and said, "I was the one who sent you the email. Thank you." I felt so embarrassed. I said, "Oh, that's fine." So, anyways, second round, it was another manager I met. It was great. Blah blah blah. We talked, etc. Then there was, and she said, "Do you want to go for another interview today?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you want to go for another interview right now?" I said, "Yeah, I'm ready." I mean, I didn't have too many clothes options, so I'm like, you know, the more the better. Let me just do all of them right now. So the second one was the technical, and I remember she took the phone. She took an iPhone at the time, and she said, "Okay, we're gonna play a little simulation game." "Okay, yeah, sure." So I'm gonna pretend to be a customer, and she took the phone and she literally like threw it really hard on the table, and she pretended to be an upset customer who was upset, and she said, "This is broken. Fix it." I said, "All right, well, thank you for coming. I mean, it's probably broken. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me see what I can do for you." "So what happened?" And I tried to diagnose the problem, etc., etc. She said, "Okay, great." And then they told me, "The general manager is around, is here. Would you like to meet him?" The obvious answer is yes. I'm not going to say, "Nah, I'm okay."
Yeah, definitely.
So I meet him, and we are very happy he's here, etc. And this is a great opportunity. Would you like to meet him? Yeah, sure. So I meet him, and he looks kind of Hispanic. He could be. And on my resume, everything is crystal
my
clear.
God.
But one small white lie was that I was really good at Spanish, fluent in Spanish.
All right.
And he scans the mail. He said, "Oh, I heard so many good things about you." I said, "Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity." Things that they teach you at school. And then he goes all the way down and he reads Spanish. And he says,
Hablo español.
almost actually. He says, "So you speak Spanish?" I said, yeah. He said, "So what languages do you speak?" I said, "Well, I speak English, French, Arabic, and Spanish." And he said, "Oh, Spanish." I'm like, "Oh boy." So I was like sweating inside. And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "All right, let's go Spanish. That's interesting." I said, "Yeah, but I also speak, French, because in Morocco, I try to in Morocco, we speak Arabic and French, but I went to a French school, so am I fluent in French?" He said, "Yeah, but Spanish." So I said,
French is nice too.
I can have a basic conversation in Spanish. I mean, I'm not the best in Spanish. I was not born in a Spanish speaking country, etc. He said, "Oh, okay, all right. But Spanish is very interesting." And he kept going back, Spanish.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, you know what? All in." I said, "Well, if you want, we can finish this interview in Spanish." He said, "Oh, no, I don't speak Spanish." I said, "Yeah, neither do I, but that's good."
That was actually a nice bluff.
That was a bold move, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I got the job. And interestingly,
So
I did not ask for
all day.
no, well, it was in a cafe, and which was cool to have like a different environment, not stressful. And each interview lasted like 45 minutes, so I spent all afternoon there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then, all right, well, great. I'm not gonna lie, we really like you. We just need to process some paperwork, and we will see each other very soon. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. So you play tennis? I play tennis too. And we started talking, blah, blah, about tennis. And all right. Well, thank you, Jawad. We will contact you. But thank you. You are great. Are you happy with the? Oh, yeah. I'm very happy. Okay, great. And no question, they didn't even bring up the subject of salary, of money. So I said, So honestly, I forgot about it. I went back home and I said, I think I got the job. "Oh, really?" And my brother was happy. Everybody was happy. My friends, "Oh, great. You will have free phones, free this." Nah, probably not. But anyways. And then the first time I heard about my salary was when I received my first paycheck.
Yeah.
And it was not crazy. It was not crazy. But it was, I was very happy, working for Apple.
That's one of the things that they don't teach you, like in your first interview, to ask the questions.
Yeah.
Like you never go. You always are in test mode, so you're giving answers. The only questions that you ask is when will I hear back from you?
Exactly,
Or,
like basic questions, which is not good.
and you never say things like that matter to you. Like how
Am I going to be working in the team? How many people in the team? Am I going to be working on different projects? Am I going to be working on the same project? Like so many questions that you need to ask.
Home? Can I
Exactly.
work remote? Can I? How do we handle vacation days?
Exactly.
Stuff like that. So, and you're always in that position of the test, and that's why, like, I feel that more often than none, like, you go in. Usually, your first job becomes your career.
Your career job, yeah.
Because you're just so happy to be paid to do something.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times you just like fly past all your passions or whatever and just go with a job that pays you. And that's
for sure.
A lot of people just don't get that, are not lucky to live. And usually it hits you 20 years later, you know?
True. You're like, I missed out. I should have done this. I should have done that. But you know what's also interesting about what you said is that, like, an interview, we cannot all prepare the same way for an interview. We have to let our personality shine. So you have to freestyle it a little bit. I'm a big fan of freestyle and everything. We are freestyling this podcast right now. We talked about it for 2 minutes and now we are having a conversation. So this is how I like to live life. And, you know, I was a little bit of a rebel on one question when she said, you know, what is your biggest, what's the most positive aspect you have to tell us about you, and what's your negative thing? And I said, really? I thought Apple would ask me something different, because I know what I'm supposed to tell you. I'm supposed to tell you my biggest drawback is that I am a perfectionist, I think. But I mean, I'm just like everybody. So I might be late, I might not. I might be in a good mood, I might not. I mean, I'm alive, so I don't know what to tell you. But I really like to learn.
I hate when I don't give my all in work.
Exactly. I hate when I don't work too much. So, like, I'm like, come on, I know what I'm supposed to tell you. But I'm not perfect. I'm here to learn. I love to learn. I love technology, and I will give you my best. So that's it.
That's one of the biggest aspects that comes out, is that 90% of the interview is bullshit. Like, you get reference letters. Did you ever ask for a reference letter? You go to a guy and tell him, "Oh, I need a reference letter." It's gonna be like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay,
it is bullshit.
Write it. I'll sign it."
Exactly.
There's nothing, no information that's like particular to you that's on
true.
there.
Very true.
The same thing for those questions. Oh, what's your biggest flaw? What's your biggest this? And you give a.
You know what you're supposed to say. Exactly. Prepared answer.
Like, so 90% of the people have the same answers for all that.
Exactly.
The degree is the same equivalents, or some are more prestigious than others. But basically, you have 95% of the interview is mashed up shit that everybody gives the same stuff.
Absolutely.
So how do you actually take? So it's first come, first served?
Yeah.
Or how does it work? Because you didn't learn anything about me in particular, or how I could be an asset in your company. And that's why, like, it's interesting to see these new waves of companies that actually take it back, like recenter the whole attention on you. Like, who are you? What do you bring to the table?
And they have some strange tests, like rank these colors, organize this personality test, which I think it's a little bit crazy too. Like, come on, like, they give you different colors and you have to organize them in the order that you prefer, and then they will start analyzing, okay, did he go from the darkest to the lightest? Did he go this is BS.
But at the same time, it shows how your brain functions.
Like, but it's
what types of logics you use, and those are proven, like psychological things that are that give you a good idea on how you go about problem solving and stuff. Like, for instance, they give a lot of riddles, for instance, on something. Sometimes riddles that are there's no answer to them. So they want to see how much time you actually try to solve it,
and how you react to failure.
But also how long it takes you to say, I can't do something.
Yeah.
Because if you stay there like all night trying to do it, that's not good. Because you need to give it the time to try to solve it. If not,
you need to move on.
You need to know how to, like, reach out and say, I can't do this. I need to move on to something else.
Yeah, that's true. You know, but like, it makes it, you're right. Like, by the fact that all the interviews, they are all the same, and we are prepared to answer
And we
the
lie so
questions.
much, man.
Of course we lie,
Come on, we
but
lie
the
so
questions
much.
are all the same. The answers are all the same. So it's very hard for people who are interviewing us to know who we really are. And then they have bad surprises. And then sometimes they are not convinced. Maybe because they didn't ask the right question. And also maybe because the interviewee didn't really unleash who he really is. Like, just relax. This job
Well,
is not the end of the world.
You know,
Just
I'm gonna
say
tell
who
you
you are.
one thing. I remember this interview, the media one. So I go about it. They ask me a bunch of questions. I really prepared it. Like I went to the older brother of a friend. He prepared me for everything. I had all the questions laid down, and everything went perfectly. So they were really happy. At the end of the interview, they tell me, "All right, so we just have a quick test, but it's a formality. That's the easy part." And they give me the test. Of course, in my resume, like everyone,
I'm the best at everything.
I'm super good at the Microsoft suite,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Especially Excel.
Yeah.
So they give me a test because most of the work you'll be working on Excel. So they gave me like a sheet and told me like write down the formulas you do, you know, like to do the average of this, to do the average. I never opened Excel in my life before that. And they give me that test, and I see on my resume there is like Excel, and I try to be a smart ass about it. And
You said
I
this is
can't-
not the version I'm used to.
I can do no. I told them, well, I've been on Apple for the last I don't know how much time,
and the shortcuts are not the same.
I use numbers because numbers.
Yeah.
What is the difference that is good between it? There's no like complicated formulas. You
Yeah.
just click. There's a button that says
Yeah.
average, it
Sum
averages
up,
down.
etc.,
And I
etc.
don't. I still don't understand what people are still using those fucking
That's
formulas
true,
today.
true.
But hey,
Apple products
and
are
I
really
didn't.
good. Yeah.
And when I gave back my test, like he was like, "But you didn't write down anything," and I was like, "Yeah," like.
But you knew it was over, right?
It was over because basically, like, they caught me in a lie, not like afterwards when they were debating. or something, like, in front, like,
Yeah.
okay, so this is like the easy part of it, and I'm like, yeah, but that's the part where I lie. And once you lie, you get caught
That's
on
it.
a lie.
It's done.
On one thing,
you're gone.
you're
Yeah.
basically.
You know, that's very interesting. I have a friend who's an IT guy, and he works in here in Casablanca. And he said he opened a small company. He was in Canada at that time. He came back to Morocco, and he said, "Okay, I want to open an IT company, and I need people in Morocco. We have a lot of people who do IT engineering, etc. So I'm gonna hire them. We're gonna finish this project. Good." Everything was perfect. So the hiring process is also complicated because they all play a game.
Yeah,
You have to find
definitely.
their personality between all this BS. Oh yeah, I'm the problem with me is that I'm a perfectionist. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's a good problem to have, but I guess you knew that. But anyways, and what he did is day one, he had like he rented like a big office. He had computers set up, like 5 or 6 computers. First group, they go in, and he said, program me a calculator. Go. Some people, after the interview, when he told them, okay, you gotta program me a calculator, as soon as they heard this, they said, yeah, well, I wasn't ready to do this. I didn't expect to do that. And they leave. They don't even try. The other half, like 50% of the other half who stayed, they don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
And then the last half is like, okay, I don't need you to program me the whole. I just want you to start, to show me that you can. If you start, okay. Some people don't even know where to click, what softwares to install, etc. So yeah, a lot of people lie in their resume.
Yeah.
And some people get away with it because
And
in some
it's-
jobs,
and the worst part is it's just they're just scared, man. That's why they lie.
of
I
course,
think they're not good enough and stuff.
Exactly.
And if you just come and show exactly who you are,
exactly.
because me most of the time when I hire someone, I try to get to know them, and I go from the principle, if there's no red flags, of course, that they're hireable,
yeah.
and it's my job to figure out where I can place them for them to be the most productive for
productive,
us,
yeah.
and the most like where they can thrive on their end as well. And that's the thing, because they're scared, they give you false data,
Yeah.
and then you don't place them well.
it's
And
not good
they're
for them. It's
and
not
they're
good
not
for
happy.
you.
So
Yeah,
if you cut the bullshit a little bit,
yeah. And you told me that's what you did in your actual job. You told them, I would love to work with you.
yeah.
I'm good at this. I don't know how to use this,
Most of the things they asked me, I said, I don't know how to do this. I don't
But
know how to do this. I
I'm
don't know how
willing to
do
learn.
this. But I learned very fast. And ask me the same question tomorrow, you'll have the answer.
yeah. And that's exactly what I say all the time. And that's
Yeah.
key. Like, don't bullshit
Don't
them.
bullshit.
Don't tell them I know how to do everything, because that's a red flag.
Of course.
And they will not say yes or no. They will say, I'm not sure about this guy, because it's too perfect. And they know you are not perfect, but they could not find exactly where you lied. So they will not hire you. Just say, I'm not really good at this. I'm really good at this. Confidence, not cockiness.
when you're not, when you don't feel that pressure and you're just like, I could go for that job, but they would be actually as lucky to have me that I would be to have them.
Yeah. Exactly.
And kind of like balance out the relationship. Then it's like
True,
a friend.
true. Just
So,
don't lie. You know the white lie that I did about Spanish? What
Mhm.
happened after I got hired is that every time we had at that time R167, that's the secret message for Apple ex-colleagues. Every time they had like a Spanish customer.
Go to
Jawad, hey Jawad, I know you're having a break, but can you please take care of this guy, and then you can go back and have it 30 minutes, no problem.
And Jawad was like,
sure.
hola. How can I help
And
you?"
then I'm like, oh fuck, and I'm like, all right. And I do speak a little Spanish, but if you see the episode 2 or 3 episodes back, we did the special languages, and that was a fun one. We should do it again, but with a little twist. So I go there and I say. And the managers are like, he's so great, right? It's 4 languages he speaks. Well, not really, but anyways. So I go there, I say, hola, amigo, ¿cómo estás? Bien, bien, ven aquí, ven aquí. And I try to pull him away from the managers so I can just say, all right, amigo. What are we talking about? Like, how much English can you help me out here? And how much Spanish can I help you out here? And we work it out. And usually people, when you make the effort to speak their language, they are very, very nice, and they help you out. And usually, and you know, I got better at my Spanish, but I was nowhere close those other people who were working with me, who were like fluent because they were from Puerto Rico or whatever. Like sometimes they talk to me, it's like another language. But yeah, don't lie, just say what you mean. And how about internship? Let's finish up with this. Internship, did you have any good ones?
Well, I had a few ones, like a few you know, any professional experience, you get something out of it. Either you start knowing what you want, or you know
what you don't want.
and that's important to go through that process. And having a good boss, having a horrible boss, those two things are important.
Because you know what kind of boss you want to be. When I worked
course.
at Apple, it was fantastic. So I learned a lot from them. I learned everything from them. So yeah,
because there's no like straight line. You cannot be too nice. You cannot be too harsh. You need to be like it's like any human
behavior,
relationship.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
And the conclusion that always comes back is that you need to be yourself. Like it seems very cheesy. And,
that's
stuff,
true.
But
It is cheesy.
That's what it is.
But
all right, that was great, guy.
So, no, but you know what I learned actually from my internship is no job is really that hard. Actually,
No.
I know it sounds very cocky, but when you do, like you told me about your experience at the bank here in Morocco, and it was not. I mean, you were fresh out of high school. I mean, first year in college,
of course, and
freshman in college,
and they brought me in. They saw that you know, I knew how to count, how to read,
exactly.
You know, like the basics. I could speak to a customer in the right way and stuff. They just told me, okay, this woman just is going on vacation for a month. You'll work at her
job, and that's it.
Job.
And you covered for her, no problem.
And I covered for her. Like I had maybe 2 hours worth of
intense
training.
work,
No,
training
before getting into her position, it was normal.
Is it you? Is it me? No,
it's me.
No, it's true. But you did realize that it wasn't that hard.
No, because most jobs that don't that are task based. Once you know how to do a task, especially when it's every day
repetitive,
repetitive and stuff, Like basically, it's something that doesn't eat up your brain power
True,
or anything. You just show up, you do it.
It is
Go back.
boring after a while, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is boring after a while. But yeah, say I had one interview that one internship that I remember for a magazine back in Providence, Rhode Island, and it was an internship that I needed to graduate. A good friend of mine and also a professor of mine set me up, and so I was like introduced to them. So I was like, all right, take care of this guy. So I went there, and actually the way they took care of me is they gave me nothing to do.
Yeah.
Very, very few work. Like I was in a cubicle, and then at the end of my internship, so every day before I left, I had to go, and so I didn't meet anybody from the team. I was in my cubicle with my computer, and I was trying to do like a website for them.
Yeah.
From time to time, he sent me some pictures. He said okay, can you touch them up for the magazine? I did. So I went. So and every time before I leave, I go to my manager, to my supervisor, and I say, all right, John, I'm leaving. All right, Jawad, thank you. And I leave, and then that's it. And
They
then
don't really care about
at the end of my interview, I was looking for my manager to say, hey, I have the paperwork to sign. Can you sign it for me? And I went there, and there was like a huge room with all the designers. And I'm like, I am a designer. What the fuck was I doing alone for 2 months?
You're an intern. That's very different.
Exactly.
And you know, one of the things that come from internships that I think one of the major lessons, because a lot of time it takes a lot of out of someone's time. Like me, I hated when we had interns at a job where I already had so much to do. I need to walk him through doing a task or anything. I'm like, it takes less time to do the task for him.
Yeah.
Like, and I was lucky enough to have an intern that didn't give a flying fuck about what was
So
going
you're
on.
like, oh,
he
just
was
sit down
calling
and
me
be
He was
cute.
telling me, oh, I'm not coming tonight. I was like, cool. And but as an intern, one of the things that you learn, I think the most is patience. Because you need to be patient with certain situation because you're on the bottom of the bottom, you know?
Yeah.
And the second thing is, at the end of the day, it's just a job.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like it's not your life. It doesn't
Exactly.
define
It doesn't
who you
define
are.
you.
All
Absolutely.
that stuff. It's a job.
Absolutely.
And they treat you like shit at the beginning because you're worthless at the beginning. You get more worth. They treat you better. But at the end of the day, you die tomorrow.
Exactly.
You'll be replaced.
They'll replace you.
You're just
Absolutely.
a number.
Yeah, true. And I think that this would be a good title for this video. It's just a job. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Reda. I know you have
Thank
to
you
go.
for
Me
you.
too. And I will catch you next time. All right.
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks. Take
And
care.
like, subscribe.
Exactly. Like, subscribe. Almost 25 for last one. So not bad. Not bad.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Exactly. Tell a friend to
Triple
tell a
our
friend.
numbers.
Sounds good. All right, man.
All right.
Thanks. Take it easy.
See you soon, guys.